Good evening and welcome to Transformative Tarot. Well, the inner child runs wild. We're going to do a collective read. Happy Sunday to everybody. As you can see, my table's full. Got a lot of little projects going on. Very creative time. I trust everybody is doing well and doing their best to stay in the highest of vibrations and working to transform into the best version of self. Really, you know what I mean? So, what's going on? Brittany vibes is in the house. Um, this is a little impromptu. Things are a little different now. I mean, everything should feel different. We have one more retrograde coming on, which I'll call the Ghost of Christmas Past. That'll be in December, but December will also be the last of the Jupiter retrograde in Taurus. So again, about opportunities and values, things of that nature. So things in the past that maybe didn't get a chance to do, something that was worth something to you, a relationship, an opportunity, um, a goal, a desire, still has plenty of time to come back. And with that retrograde, it'll help a lot of us really get focused on what it is that we really, really want to invest in. I know I've been exploring a whole lot of different things I'm not used to. I just made a bike helmet. Shit, I'm over here working on a dream catcher. That's why I got all these feathers out. I painted some beads and everything, but really just holding, falling back and letting everything kind of, do its own thing. You know what I'm talking about? And it's just still kind of reveling in all that's happened in the last 6 months. If you're really going to do that review since the last eclipse to this moment now, there's been a lot that's been done for forward motion. You know what I'm talking about? So let's get into a fancy deck tonight. We will be looking at what year it is. I meant to ask, did you agree? Catch your turn out. Well, it's turning out really nice. Thank you for asking. I'm gonna show you some of the uh, little things have been coming up. I don't know, just artistically how I've been feeling, especially with the ancestors when it comes to speaking to them and having them come talk. Just feeling a whole other level. There's one of my little demons right there that wars away evil spirits kind of shit. You know what I mean? This is on a I don't know what kind of feather it is, but when I found it, it was gold. It was a gold leaf. You know what I'm saying? I found it in the woods, maybe about a month before I left for Philly. So I mean, even this is symbolic of like pieces. You know what I'm saying? Putting all the pieces together because I had a lot of stuff laying around, and I just bought a few crafts with a couple of dollars. Just to kind of fill in the blanks. And it's like all that stuff you used to have laying around that you didn't have use for. You know what I'm saying? It's now like all that good energy is coming back. And this is part of the retrograde. Here's another feather right here. I put the yin and the yang on this one. But the weaving itself is something different, and I like that kind of a challenge. I like that challenge. And it goes in line with today's card, which is the White Wizard. We are actually in the White Wizard year in the Mayan calendar. But this is very much, kind of a behind the scenes energy, especially with that Jaguar, the that kind of energy where you're just chilling in the back and can't nobody really see you in the cut. But at the same time, you're really working with nature, you know what I mean? Getting grounded, working with the plant kingdom, the crystals, doing ceremonies and rituals and exploring, new modalities of healing, sound. It could be dance, it could be any kind of, workout. It could be even like, yoga or something like that, but just something new, but really expanding on that shamanistic energy. You know what I'm talking about? The next card we have is from the Destiny cards, the Queen of Hearts, the King of Hearts. Excuse me. This is about outwardly expressing, outwardly expressing emotional maturity at this time. So this is like, we're not in high school kind of energy no more. So all those games that people play, that kind of energy, we're not on that level. It's about nurturing your seeds of intention as well, because we have this masculine energy with all this love. So this is actually the doing. You know what I mean? This is the hold on one second. This is the expression of in real time. This is the gifting. This is the small gestures of kindness. You know what I mean? This is maybe even a phone call, catching up with somebody. You know what I mean? Very masculine energy. And look at that. And on top of that, we have the king of spades came out. Real powerful spread right now, folks. And then, you can always tell because for the last week, it seems like things weren't moving at all. It kind of felt like I was at a standstill with a lot of things. And I was really cool with that. I'm not even going to lie to you. I got a lot of rest. And I think that was the whole point, was to just get that moment to recharge before things really start kicking off. So as you know, um, Big Daddy just went direct over there, Saturn. So we're going to get more of that Saturn and Pisces energy again. That's going to remove the falsehoods, the illusions of the world. At the same time, it's going to help us in our spiritual disciplines and gaining structure in this new paradigm. You know what I'm talking about? But this is that same, this is the quality that's standing out now. But this is about self mastery. This is about mastering all four aspects or suits of self. You know, sometimes, we can get too bogged down with doing the work without noticing just how far we've come. You know what I'm talking about? Where we can just sit back and reflect to see how much we've grown in all these areas and how the game is a lot more simple to us now. You know what I mean? Even though it's chess and not the checkers, to say it's like really understanding energy and how it flows, especially for us individually. You know what I mean? I did want to clarify the light seers deck, but yeah, the King of Spades and the King of Hearts as a tandem, it's like really a time for that love. Today I was sitting there, it's like it really doesn't cost anything just to send out a little bit of love into the world. Just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Just to say a prayer for the people that are in your lives or people that you don't know that could use that kind of energy. And I don't think we really understand how powerful that is at times, just from us alone. But just imagining if we all took that time out. So I encourage, Britt, just get out there and just I do an ashe when I'm at a ritual or something like that, like the Day of the Dead walk, the march we did. Like, all I did was ashes, but even before I go to sleep, just the people I knew who supported me and been, kind to me or showed me some kind of, some grace or some, kind word or anything like that, just to appreciate every last bit of the journey. You know what I mean? Because it's different on the other side when you haven't really experienced the opposite end of the bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? So it takes time to get acclimated and actually start to dream and feel what that's like. So don't feel rushed. Don't feel pressured about any of this. The holidays are coming anyway. So, things will be slowing down a little bit anyway, as far as, the ways of the world kind of shit. Everybody's going to be eating their turkey and wrapping their gifts. So again, that King of Cups comes in because this could be a time for family or gatherings or celebrations, and people are going to see just how much you've grown should you choose to engage. You feel me? I don't know. I don't think I'll be going back to Philly for the holidays, but just maybe even reaching out. I'm gonna push myself to make a effort to reach out to a couple people. You know what I'm saying? Just to get out of Phoenix land for a little bit and get out a break. So the card for medicine is the yellow star. Here we go again. This is of course that star is making a wish but shining bright. But this is about multiplication. This is about adding on. This is about the really about growth because the symbol, one of her symbols or I should say, the symbols for the yellow star is the rabbit. And as we know, when rabbits get together, more rabbits get together. You feel what I'm saying? So it's that kind of energy of multiplication or adding on or building. I just picked the yellow star card just now. Wow. Well, see, that's you know, this time, I think the mastery of it all is just surrendering to the spirit, to the manifestations and the script that we've already put out for ourselves, right? It's just a surrendering of that and letting go of how things really are showing up. And you know what I mean? Because the bigger the goal, the bigger the dream, the bigger the idea, it's going to take a little bit longer to marinate. So you're going to have weeks like, maybe what I experienced was just kind of like really slow down and relax. It doesn't seem like anybody's making any kind of moves or, almost like stagnant water, but it isn't. It's just really still, and a lot of that has to do with the timing, of course, with, Hallows Eve and Day of the Dead being here. And I know I had a couple of dreams. I know my cousin came to visit me the other night. It was really great to see her. She looked great. She had this black dress on, and I don't know. I guess we were going to some party or something like that. But I just remember that presence. You know what I'm talking about? It was really fresh, and I just, just it felt great to have her stop by, if that makes sense in a spiritual way. Because we don't want to hold on to people and keep them here because of our selfish, you know, our what we want kind of thing. We have to allow these people to go on their journeys without us pulling on their coattails every 5 seconds. You know what I'm talking about? So, yeah, that yellow star energy. Yeah, it's been a release time. It really, I mean, just the ego of things, just the expectation of things in a world that is really on fire right about now. You know what I mean? Of how this is going to end or begin, or all these questions we may have now. This is why this time is set aside so we can really get clear, just on ourselves and have it fall into place. That we'll be in the right place for what it is we got to do next. You know what I mean? Like the Matrix world just doesn't have any hold or appeal. It's kind of one of those things where you just want to stay in the fifth, or you know what I mean, stay in your imagination and not even deal with this physical human shit sometimes because of how ridiculous it may seem. We're still warring, we're still prejudiced, we're still, all of these things that we just thrown in the mix that we just happen to have the job of cleaning up. And this is what it is right now because if you feel like I feel, it's like it doesn't go past this point. None of that bullshit that affected my family or any of these traits or characteristics or mind states or belief systems, it stops here. And as it stops here, at the same time, we're co creating what that new reality looks like. So this yellow star has a lot of the wishes and wishing upon a star or realizing that we're all stars anyway. Um, it's like I was sitting here. I've been running back and forth trying to get somebody just to pull one tooth, and they've been throwing me from this person and that person. And everybody's taking it. It's just a whole, and then it's just to a point where you're just like fucking over it because you know, it just feels more immortal now than anything. It just feels more eternal, like that presence. You know what I'm talking about? Rather than this temporary shit. We know we're all gonna wither away physically at some point, but the spirit and the mind, you know what I'm saying, and the heart, it's kind of really the spirit animal has been coming up lately. Yeah. Uh, well, let me see what else is. I've seen I haven't seen a rabbit since I've been down here. But this is actually the year of the rabbit in the Chinese astrology as well. That has a lot to do with it. That's good fortune as well. Um, they have the wood rabbit represented. You know what I mean? The element of wood, Where's the no? It's the fire rabbit. Excuse me. I'm a wood rabbit. Let me not interject my shit. You know what I'm saying? But still benefit from that. But we all benefit from that. Um, but yeah, really great energies to look out for, and that we're experiencing. But this is really the centerpiece of it all. What all that work is about. It was all training. You know what I'm saying? It was all training for this kind of uh, coming forth. You know what I mean? The true, authentic magicians and the healers and the seers to really step out of the shadows kind of energy. You know what I'm talking about? To really have this stuff in the forefront again where it belongs. But it's like even with that kind of mentality and attitude with that jaguar, it's like you still got to remember that things are secret and sacred. You know what I mean? Some things are still hidden that need to be hidden. It's a lot of discernment about who gets that kind of access. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of accountability that comes with this card. I feel, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. So if you know how to work roots or something like that, you know what I mean? It's like you ain't just doing it for petty reasons. You know what I mean? I figure with all these fake witches and warlocks out here burning candles on each other because of some big. If we did that for just one country in the world or one state in the world or whatever, the impact. You know what I'm talking about? The impact. The impact would be astounding instead of adding to the fuel of the bullshit that's going on. So I want to clarify just the white wizard with a couple cards out the light seers deck, and I know you had your deck for a little bit. Rich, you got some cards up in there that kind of speak to you now. I had a fortune cookie that said an eye for an eye makes the world blind. You know, it's got to stop somewhere. You know, it's got to stop somewhere. Whether it be world, I mean wars between countries or people or families or friends, whatever. One way or another's got to stop. Somebody has to just let go, release. You know what I'm saying? The need to be correct, the need to be right. You know what I mean? The need to want to dominate other people's ideas and lifestyles, especially those that don't match with yours. Allowing your ignorance and pride to get in the way of growing and learning from other people. You know what I mean? Let's see. I actually DM you some cards that spoke to me on IG. Okay, okay. I'll have a look. I know my battery's running low. But I want to get this live started because this is I don't know. I just been a little daunted by the YouTube world, but it feels like I can get a fresh look at things doing tarot over here, as opposed to just doing it on IG, where the algorithm is definitely rigged. You know what I'm saying? Not to toot my own horn, but these people out here getting 20,000 views and likes for bullshit artwork. I'm just gonna leave it right there. So clarifying this white wizard, it's two of cups and the six of cups, right? So let's do it like this. Let's see if I can get them all up there. And sponsored tonight by I forgot to introduce the Transformers tonight are two of the original triple changers, Blitzwing and Astral Train. Um, Dual nature, they both can fly. One is a space shuttle and one is a jet fighter, and they both can, have a ground-based vehicle. One is a tank and one is a train. Hence, Astral Train and Blitzwing. But that idea of threes, things coming in threes. Me, myself, and I, past, present, future. It's a culmination again, putting all these pieces together. With all that past life energy, it's been in the air. Even with the helmet I made, even a friend of mine, Lola, was talking about I looked like a knight, and I said, I felt like a knight in a past lifetime, but also elements of the samurai went into that mask, And that's something I ain't never done that in my life. But I just sat down with some screws and all these loose pieces I had, and shit came together. You know what I'm saying? It turned out beautiful. But it's just gonna be for Halloween. But fuck, I'm rocking. I've been rocking that shit every day, every day. You know what I'm talking about? Let's see. The two cards that really spoke to me: the yellow sun and the strength. Really, the signs and symbols of both of those right now. Well, good. We're gonna really. I want to take these opportunities for that kind of dialogue, Britt, so we can kind of feel why these energies are floating around. I love that strength card. I was thinking about that a couple of days ago. Um, it's one of the earlier cards that I did, and this kind of strength is not so much like the original tarot of taming something. You know what I'm saying? Even though it is about the ego, but it's about overcoming more so the limitations placed upon one, as well as the limitations that one has accepted, if that makes sense, that we bind ourselves with. So it's basically a card of getting out of one's way. And you said the strength card and the yellow sun. Oh, aha, he's right here on top. Okay, we'll pop into them in a second. But we got the two of cups, and then we got the six of we got the cup again. Six cups in the reverse. Um, mm, mm, mm. I tell you, a lot of this release is based on some I see your next lifetime kind of energy. You feel what I'm saying? That six of cups may be old soulmates that have been really great lessons in our lives leaving at this time. Um, two of cups is really more about the love we have within ourselves and coming together within ourselves first and foremost. That two of cups, that union of opposites. You know what I'm talking about? Really loving connection with oneself is what brings out this white wizard energy to another level. When you put your heart into something, whether it's food, whether it's art, whatever you do, whatever your craft is, music, right, Britt? It just it's a different flavor than you know the factory. You know what I'm saying, or the TV dinner kind of shit. But the Six of Cups is, there are things right now that we really have to release that are close to the heart, things that we know aren't good for us, but things that we love. You know what I'm saying? And maybe not even completely. Maybe some of these things have more to do with moderation or some shit. You know what I mean? Just because you don't you want to give up drinking just to drink doesn't mean you can't celebrate at occasions. You know what I mean? Everybody's in the back rolling one up anyway and having a good time. We're not talking about that. We're talking about releasing. This is called what I like to call how to kill a god. And what I mean by that is once we feed into something and every day it becomes a ritual or a habit, we've created an energy or an entity that rules over us now. We can't live without it. So this is that killing the god kind of mentality that's coming up to the forefront, or at least subduing. So this is falling right into line. We'll get right into it, Britt, because you brought the cards up. Um, the strength card again, having that that strength to get out of your own way. Uh, and I mean, there's a lot in this card. This is one of the more, whew, I did this one in color pencil. What year is this? I want to say this is 2015. That's not on here. I had to pull out the book. But old labels, stereotypes, the world caving in around. And I've actually started doing more of the writing for the book. And the other explanation that came into this is this was after the tower hits. After the tower hits, the walls cave in and the roof caves in. But this is very much in the underworld. This is because the water in the pipes are present under here, which gives that feel of a basement. So you got to imagine being in the basement, and it's one of those things where people kind of left you for dead. You know what I'm saying? They thought you would never find the strength to get out or climb out of the rubble, let alone break the chains of your own guilt or shame or shortcomings, right? Any kind of energy like that. But to have the strength to lift that weight that has already collapsed kind of energy, to pull yourself out of that rut or that underworld energy, you know what I mean? And not really conform to society's definition of you as whatever you chose to be at this time. You know what I mean? Feminine, whether you wanted to be a dude or a girl, whether you wanted to be Asian or black. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, it's really just a it's a mask. It's a makeup. You know what I mean? It's just something we chose for a temporary time. Now this um the yellow sun or Ahau is the last of the 20. There's 20 sun signs, if you wish to call them that, or day keepers as they're called, and they represent a process. Each one takes a part in a 20-step process of which we come into this awareness of Christ consciousness. That's what this represents. And again, with the twos, because you see the two birds on the shoulder, this is that union again. You know what I'm talking about? Flowering. This is what we've been seeing all summer. I know I've been seeing butterflies everywhere, but getting used to new skin, coming out of the cocoon, Christ consciousness, meditating more. You know, um, this is also linked to, because this is an inner child deck, is the baby Buddha. Um, and Ashe, and special shout out to Brother Panic, who made his transition as well. I'm gonna put that out there. But because Bobby Hemmett talked a lot about that baby Buddha, or being pregnant, spiritual pregnancy, getting fat. You know what I'm saying? In a spiritual sense, becoming like the South. I always say the South is Big Mama's house, and there's a reason for that. You know, the Towerette energy, the Big Mama energy, but that fullness. It it's a physical representation of a spiritual growth. You understand what I'm saying? And the yellow sun, or universal fire. Let's see some of the to enlighten. This is about life. This is about the matrix. You know what I'm saying? As the last of the process, the last four of the day keepers, him included, represents the actual interaction outside of the womb kind of energy. This is when we interface with the world and everything about it, dealing with the matrix, learning how to make this shit work in our favor. But this is the Christ consciousness when we get to that point where many of us are right now, where it's like, it almost has that whatever kind of attitude, like whatever, I'm just over it. But at the same time, it comes with a liberating feeling of knowing who you are again, and really loving the journey of relearning what that really means. You know what I'm talking about? It's become like a private joy. Nobody would ever see it unless they knew you. You know what I'm talking about? And this enlightenment has nothing to do with anything or anyone outside of self. But at the same time, one recognizes the connection with everything and everyone outside of self. So the strength and the yellow sun definitely speaks to a metamorphosis. This is more, like I said, coming from the subconscious, but this is coming from the underground. This is coming from behind the scenes, having the strength to stand out. And this is the result of being in that environment. So this is the lower world, this is the upper world, as above, so below. Really, you know what I mean? Because even here, we got the chakra system. Chakra systems all lined up, and those chakra symbols are the ones that you'll find in the Mayan calendar. So, right on time with it. Right on time with it. And again, having this ability to change. And it's like, if we're going to up the game, maybe when we started, we just started as maybe a thundercracker where we picked a human form and we transformed into a flying jet. But now we got a little bit more juice where we're evolving to the point where not only can we do a plane, but maybe another vehicle, Even Homeboy here is a triple changer, Scorpionaut, being tied to that Scorpio energy of change, death, transformation, all that fire shit. Put that back there. Sleeping that, definitely feeling that. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I really didn't want the book out just yet. I really would like people to sit with that and get their own interpretation based on their experience. Just when you pick it up, you know what I'm talking about? But I also want to make sure that moving forward, all these cards have a base. You know what I mean? I'm going to talk to somebody as if I'm talking to somebody who's never ever experienced tarot. You feel me? But with all this energy comes a great sense of not only responsibility but accountability. Accountability is a big one right now, and that's where a lot of this release is aimed at. Because once you can admit your parts, it really makes things easier. Because we're not looking for anyone to blame, and we're not in a victim frame of mind. So let's close out. We at 30. That's pretty good. It's pretty good for a read. Even if you just wanted to skip through a little bit, no big deal. I was cleaning up and I finally found my Herkimer diamond. So that might be relevant as well because of the crystal clear nature of this. And the Herkimer diamond is the Hercules or Heru energy, which has been showing his ass as well. Uh-huh. So let's get give me three cards since we're doing the triple chambers. Let's get three cards that we could walk out of here with. Now with these three cards, this is nothing more than to bring it to your attention. And the way I would use these is you can um, choose to or not to work with the energy in order to help you, kind of thing. You know what I mean? For the days coming up. Yeah, that hurt my joke. It's just so small, man. Keeping up with that shit is a bitch sometimes. I used to wear it in my scullies and shit. And every now and then, especially when I was working with the kids, that shit pop on the floor. You got 10 feet, 10 hands down there trying to grab your shit. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So the three cards that Spirit has sent forth for us to, um, either work with or get in that energy, or even if you're feeling stuck, because I'll show you what I mean by that. If you're feeling stuck, a good card to draw on at this time is this Chariot card. So we have the Chariot card, the Unicorn, and we have Reiki. Chariot is that movement forward, uncharted waters kind of energy, being guided by chaperoned or escorted by the flying fish. You know what I'm talking about? But this is Fancy and her dolphin on her mission to find her father's temple in the middle of the ocean kind of shit. But you can call in this energy or you know apply it to a part of life that maybe is not moving right now. Okay. Next card is the Unicorn. Again, this is that pure of heart. This is really believing in miracles and magic. Again, but this is about the innocence, the inner child. You know what I mean? This has a very gentle feel about it overall. Very warm and loving, gentle feel. Kind of goes with that King of Hearts we pulled out earlier. But and this one, and I'm glad it came out in the order that it did because the next card is really going to solidify it. Um, something about the sense of touch right now, and not just the physical touch, but there's a touch. This is Reiki, and as you all know, Reiki is a healing art done with the hands. And if you're not familiar with it, you don't always have to touch somebody. Reiki can be applied in so many different ways and avenues. You know what I'm saying? When I first got fancy deck, the unicorn card. Well, I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second because it has a lot to do with us um, as a collective. But Reiki is an air elemental jinn kind of energy. So we're talking about all kinds of birds. We're talking about feathers. We're talking about messages. But it's really about communication at the end of the day. And even with the science of the hands, talking about a handshake, you're talking about just touching somebody on the shoulder, but also touching somebody's heart. You know what I'm saying? Or touching, I don't care what it is you touch. The Scorpio season, touch your partner, touch yourself, but it's the sense of touch, that really connects, that connectivity I'm feeling, that sense of touch, that sense of, and it's an intuitive kind of thing with the touch. You understand what I'm saying? We're not just doing a massage thing because this is the way we've been taught. We're intuitively dealing with everything and everybody not the same. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody's different. Everybody has a different the way their makeup is, so it needs a different kind of attention kind of thing. But that comes from being intuitive. And back to the unicorn one, a lot of us are the unicorn, and a lot of us, this fairy feels like spirit right now, asking us to bring our magical asses out of the forest, so to speak, to bring ourselves out of seclusion or hiding, being afraid of poachers coming to get us for our magic, kind of energy. So it's one of those things where it's asking us to trust, trust just a little bit more each day. Just add a little bit more, and really get into that feeling. But to us, it's all right to poke our heads out and express ourselves and be seen for who we truly are, and our creative element, and show up like that Christ consciousness, that yellow sun, and that yellow star. So even the color yellow may be significant this week, but again, that deals with the confidence, you know, or the lack of. Hence the yellowless mustard or yellow belly, you know, yellow spine, all that shit with the yellow on the flip side. But on the other side of it, um, just a lot of courage moving forward, courage to ask the right questions, courage to speak up for ourselves and stand our ground, courage to go after what it is that we want to achieve or experience in life, even if we don't know what that is. Just having the courage to step out there on the limb and see what the universe might have in store for us. You know what I mean? So I mean that's pretty much it for this collective read. Um, yeah, yellow golden energy. And even these two guys right here, it's one of the things that I love about these two characters because they're from two different makers. This one is from the Siege line, this one's from the Legacy line. And depending on who you get them from, or they're kind of a little different. Like some of them will be more detailed than others. But that's the thing that I loved about these two because even though they're originally the first two and there's been many variations, I love how both of them have that gold on their heads, that yellow. It's kind of what links them together. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, that yellow came right on through, and I was wondering why it was them tonight. Because half the time when they start showing up, when I start pulling them off the shelves or dusting them off or whatever, sometimes I don't even know what the hell they until you get in. But that's another thing, about this energy. You're never going to know until you dive in. So again, that's why that courage is really being highlighted at this point. No shit, I done fucked around and lost my grip on some shit over here. But we're about to close out anyway. Britt, I appreciate you coming through and you know having this conversation about all this fancy stuff going on. But yeah, Blitzwing and Astral Train. It's like you can go from land, but that's not your only hustle. You can go to water. It's like really having a lot of different aspects of yourself. You know what I mean? So with that being said, everybody who might see this later, y'all take care and have a great night. Peace. Ooh.